Carter and Emily, if you put a ball of clay in water, what's going to happen?
Sink.
Okay. So put it in the, so you put the clay ball in water and see what happens. Okay, it sunk. So why do you think it sinks?
There's no air holes for it to float.
Okay. Another thing is that this does not have much displacement either. This does not displace water. It's like getting in a lake, a pool, and you sit in the pool and put your arms together and you sink. But when you spread out, then you have a tendency to float. So that's just your body displaces water. Okay, let's see if we can make clay float. So how are you going to make clay float?
Flatten it out.
And then what?
Make a boat.
Okay, try it. This is a principle called buoyancy that they're going to attempt here by putting the clay in water. It's flat now. And the water is pushing up as much as the clay is pushing down. So try floating your boat there, Carter. Very good. Okay, Emily, what about you? You have a boat. Now you think that your boat will carry anything else? So you brought some toys along, okay? How many toys do you think you can put in there?
I don't know, maybe like
A couple of them? Okay, try it. Okay. So why is it floating?
because there's enough surface.
Okay, enough surface there. Okay, Emily, try yours. How many toys can you think you can put in yours?
4.
4, try it, okay. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Wow, you try another one. Okay, great. So what we're dealing here is with a ball of clay will sink, but when the surface is greater, there's enough pressure pushing up as there is pushing down, and so the boat floats. Okay, well, I'd like to demonstrate this another way, and that is with paper clips. So if you could just take a fork like this. You can actually float a paper clip in water. Just put it right in. So this shows surface tension, that the water actually has some tension on it, and the paper clip will not sink. And so what I would suggest for class management would be to have a group of students attempt to float paper clips while a group of students are attempting to make boats to float their things. And if you don't have toys for the kids to put in, you can put pennies one at a time or little rocks one at a time. Okay, in case you don't have clay in the school, or it's infrequent that you have it, you can do the same thing with tinfoil. How can you float your animals, Emily?
By taking the tin foil and making it a boat.
Okay, try it. Okay, Carter and Emily are going to make a boat here out of tinfoil. Now the tinfoil does not have to be this large. But again, you'll notice that the tinfoil will displace water, and then they can put a number of animals in, and the animals do not, and the toys that they have do not float because they do not displace any water, but this tinfoil displaces water. And so if you don't have clay handy, tinfoil works just as well. Okay, try it. And I would suggest having one container of water. I just brought these plastic containers, but have one container of water per 2 students. That way they can practice. Okay, now put your animals in. See how many you can put in. How many animals do you think you can put in, Carter?
I don't know, maybe like 5.
Okay,
6.
try it. Carter and Emily, how many can you put in?
10.
10, okay. So each of these animals by themselves would sink. But because the tinfoil displaces water, and so what I did initially with these youngsters was to just give them a piece of tinfoil and their animals, and I said, okay, how can we keep the animals and so they had it figured out, And they finally came up with the idea to make a boat. And so Carter has all his animals in there and they won't sink. And Emily has most of hers in and they won't sink. So the same thing is true when there's displacement. The materials will float. So this is called buoyancy right here in flotation. This particular lesson answers a bunch of standards that are required. And some of the assessment things are, first of all, the students would be deciding on the theory on what makes things float. And then you could have them writing pictures about riding and sinking floats. And so they could draw a picture of their boat and keep that in their folders. And then the other assessment would be the participation level. Did the kids get excited about this? Did they cooperate? And what could be done next time? And another assessment would be to set whether or not they refer back to this lesson later on. I know these two, when I first did it, went to the dentist and explained to him how their toys would not float until they had this piece of tin foil, and they decided, hey, we'll make a boat and let it float. So that's what happened there. And then also take this home and let the students make boats at home, and then come back and see which one will float the most materials. So those would be an assessment. So anyway, this has worked out pretty well, and trust that you'll take a look at it and see how it works.